deep Marian French deep dive of the Lululun brand.
すいません、ちょっと伺いたいんですけれども、本当に細かくて申し訳ないんですが、
Be your best, be your best, you can do it, be your best. Bio means beauty in Japanese. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello! And if you're coming back, thank you! So today we're gonna do a deep Marian French deep dive of the Lululun brand. So if you're into that, go ahead, like, subscribe. But I'm telling you, don't say that I didn't warn you. I gave you fair warning. You have time to turn away. So before that though, let me introduce myself. So my name is Laura. I've been living in Japan for 11 years and last year I passed the Japanese cosmetic licensing test. I'm not a medical professional. That means that I studied this in Japanese and I want to use the information that I learned to help you be your best. So before we get into the video, just a quick reminder, I do have a YesStyle code. So if you're planning on purchasing anything using YesStyle, but you don't have any other creators code that you would like to use, please feel free to use my code BOBEST9. You can find the links in the description box down below. It'll help the channel. You get a little bit of savings and I get a little bit of kickback. Today we're going over the Lululun products and I cannot do all of them in one day. So I asked on the poll and everybody said that the first thing that they wanted to see were the moisturizing and the pore care products. We're gonna go over those first. We're going through more than 90% of the products, but they have some products that come out that are limited edition and it's really cool because Lululun does have, I think, the Gotochi series. Gotochi is like that area. So for example, they'll have like Tokyo Gente or limited. So they have like Tokyo limited masks. I went to Okinawa last year and they had like Okinawa masks. So they have things like that all over the place. We ain't gonna go over all of that. There's 47 prefectures. They already got enough masks. We're gonna go over the regular ones. But essentially Lululun's concept, they say 世界で一番たくさんのご機嫌を作る. And so it's like we create the, and this is gonna be a terrible translation, but essentially it's like we create the most, not happy faces, but like gokigen is like good mood. So yeah, like we create the most good moods, or I would say just like, oh, like we create the most smiles. That's kind of a weird translation, but that's what we're working with. But, and so they have this like sentences explaining what it is that they're saying, but the most important thing is that this cutout that I made, and it's 一日だって大切じゃない日はない. So it's like there's no day that's not important. And actually I have a video here where I talked about where Lululun actually came from. Honestly, I'm gonna be for real. I don't remember most of what I mentioned in that video. It was just that essentially Lululun was not created by initially a skincare company. It was created by a marketing company, and they have connections to the March 11th earthquake that happened in Japan in March 11th. I think it was 2011, so it was 14 years ago. Not connections in the like Illuminati kind of connections way, like but essentially that helped out their business in a weird kind of way. So if you want more info on that, you can get that video. But essentially they're just like, there's not any day that's not important. Therefore, enjoy every day, wear a mask every day, because every day is important. And so they have a bunch of different like products. Now the bulk of their stuff is masks, as you can see here, but they also have like soaps. They have some cleansers, which actually I go over the cleansers in this shopping video over here. They also have this oil and some toner pads, which I've gone over in like shorts like this. And then I made a video, I think, about a Lululun mask, and then someone on that video specifically, they were like, oh, these masks are really small. And the Lululun masks, actually, they write on their website that it's like an original shape that they made to specifically fit Japanese women's faces. That could be maybe a reason why you put it on and you're like, oh, maybe this mask feels a little bit small. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the different types, and I broke this up to make it really easy to break it up into 4 types. So it's aging, we got dry, we got brightening, and we got pore care. So first up, we're gonna go over the dry, or essentially just moisturizing products. First up is the pure mask, and this one is like the most, this is basic pumpkin spice mask. Okay, I mean, I'm sure she's great, god bless, be your best, but I'm just saying not a lot going on here. They have the one with the 7 mask pack, and then they have the 32 pack, and then this one, I believe that the 7 pack, because it's so like basic, I'm sorry, that was a bit much, but because it's so basic, it's like the cheapest mask that you can buy for Lululun for 7 masks. I think it's like 440 yen or something. It's really cheap. But yeah, most of the Lululun masks are free of colorants, fragrances, mineral oil, and alcohol, but some of them they'll have fragrance, and then some of them they'll have alcohol. So the only 2 ingredients that I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting for this mask was the wakame ekisu, or it's like a seaweed kind of extract. It says that it creates a layer, the hydrolipid film, and then on top of the top on top of that topmost layer, you have this thing called the acid mantle. So the acid mantle is a barrier on our face, and it pretty much keeps like germs and stuff, bacteria stuff out of our face. So it's a good guy. And so what this extract is supposed to do is that it helps create a layer on top of the acid mantle, and so it'll help to keep moisture into our skin. It also says that it helps balance the oil and water in our skin, which also leads to healthy, moisturized, plumpy, juicy skin. And then the only other thing actually of note that this mask has is the intelligent sensor capsule, and basically it's an ingredient complex composed of the ingredients here on the screen. And what it says that it does is that it senses the dry places, the imbalances in our skin, and then it delivers the moisturization to that area specifically. So it says that it does this by finding ion disturbances or ion imbalances. I fell asleep through all of my chemistry classes, and when I was studying for the Japanese cosmetic licensing test, like they would talk about like ions and stuff, and I'm like, okay, like I got it to a degree, but like we're getting into unknown territory is what I'm saying. So I cannot explain fully exactly how this works. I'm just telling you what it is that they're telling me. It detects, oh, your skin is dry in this area, and then it gives it moisture to that area. I feel like they just said that in a lot of words. So it kind of reminds me, the idea of that sensor kind of reminds me of the Kanebo, the skin harmonizer, which I've talked about in this video. I don't know that it's necessarily to that level, because the other one sounds like it's a lot of research and a lot of stuff going on over there. That's what it reminded me of. So next mask is the skin conditioning and moisturizing mask. So this one, and because it's a special treatment mask, you see it's 4 packs for 1 sheet, and I believe like 1 pack is like around 1,200 yen, so it's a little bit pricier than the other masks. And then this one is just like the other one. It's free of colorants, fragrances, mineral, and alcohol. And then this one, it says that it helps with inflammation, moisture, rough skin, and helps also with sensitive skin. This one is a quasi-drug, which means that it has the approved amount of a certain ingredient. That certain ingredient is dipotassium glycerinate, which is an anti-inflammatory ingredient. And then some other ingredients of note would be that it has ceramides, but that's, you know, your basic moisturizer. You can find that anywhere. You're not gonna pull me in with ceramides anymore. And then you also have Panax ginseng root extract, essentially, which is ginseng. What is really interesting, I think, is that you don't see ginseng used very often in Japanese beauty. You see it used a lot in K-beauty, but there are quite a couple of Lululun products that do use it. So I don't know exactly what it is about Lululun, or if it's that they work with like Korean OEMs. I'm not sure. I don't even know if they work with Korean OEMs. Please don't sue me for defamation. I have but $2. I don't even have $2. But yeah, so it has ginseng, which is a well-known K-beauty ingredient. It also has elderwise, which elderwise is said to be an antioxidant, help with skin brightening, anti-aging, and that's also not common in JBeauty, which I think that adds to the cost of this mask. This one, because it's a special treatment mask, you would use this 1 to 2 times a week for 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, so next is the One Night Rescue Face Mask, and this one again is basically focused on moisturization, but just like the last mask, it is a little bit more expensive. It's 5 packs of like 1 sheet, and it's wrapped individually versus the other Lululun masks, which are usually in a bulk pack. So this one, and it's really funny because Lululun is honestly not a brand that I was like, I really did not care that much about Lululun. I was like, whatever. But then as I'm looking into it, I'm like, ooh, I like this, and ooh, I like this, and like I want to learn. Not just that I want to learn more, but I actually want to try them after I look into them. And this was one of the masks that I was like, ooh, I'm like interested about that. So this is a pretty basic moisturizing mask, but it does have some ingredients that caught my eye. And one of those is shaku, or the peony albiflora. I don't know exactly how to read that, but I'm gonna say a white peony flower extract. So the reason why shakuyaku ekisu struck out to me is because shakuyaku ekisu is also used in SK2 Ultimate Cream. So like obviously it's not going to be the same as SK2, presumably, supposedly, allegedly, because SK2 supposedly, allegedly, you will have a higher concentration maybe. Again, I don't know, they don't disclose their percentages. And actually I was watching this video by a Japanese, actually it was Kazunosuke, and he was talking about this brand Chifure, and he was saying that one of the reasons why Japanese companies don't disclose their percentages is because that could lead to other companies finding out pretty much their secret formula. They don't want that to happen. That's why a lot of these companies don't usually disclose the percentages of things that they put, except maybe like a star ingredient. They'll be like, oh, niacinamide 5%. That's as far as it goes. For that alone, I'm like, I want to try this mask. But they have some other one, like they had this one, I don't know how to read this, Afanotis, we're gonna call it Afanotis. And this is said to have 5 times the water retention power of hyaluronic acid, so pretty hydrating. Another really interesting ingredient is, hold up, let me see if I can say this one. Okay. The reason why this ingredient is really interesting is because, and I pulled this from Inky Decoder, it says that it's an anti-aging chronopeptide that mimics sun exposure activation of the circadian genes. Bruh, look, yeah, you're saying the most. And we're gonna skip down here. It says it's claimed to stimulate the skin's natural defense systems. The reason why this stuck out to me is because on the Lululun website it was called the Rizumu peptido, or the rhythm peptide, and it's talking about how it helps to fix up the skin that's messed up with our schedule, because obviously like nowadays you could be awake at odd hours, sometimes you'll work like a night shift, you're like staying up all night to work on like some paper or something. So because of that, our schedule is not the same as our ancestors, when I guess they would wake with the sun and go to sleep with the sun potentially. And so in order to help skin get more aligned with nature, then you would use ingredients like this. And I'm like, does it really work? It sounds a little bit gimmicky. It sounds very gimmicky, but it sounds interesting, and I haven't heard that anywhere else. So yeah, one more ingredient in the One Night Rescue face mask series is the Albizia Jill, but whatever, there's some bark extract here, and basically it's said to help with moisture, but then on sites like the cosmetic ingredient information online, it says that it helps with skin brightening and anti-inflammation. So you wouldn't leave this mask on as long as you would the other mask, 15 minutes. This is only 10 to 15 minutes, but it is longer than regular Lululun masks, which are usually 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so next up is the Lululun One mask, and again, this is more in the special kind of deluxe series of masks that they have, and this one is also 5 packs of 1 sheet mask per pack. And this one, it says it's free of colorants, fragrances, and mineral oil. So this, even the way that it's advertised on the site, it looks more of like a luxury experience, and the way that they describe it as the Haru Biyo Eki, or like a serum that you put on, like a serum that you stick onto your face. But essentially we're talking serum class. This is not just your basic toner. And another catchphrase and marketing phrase that they use for this mask is Shizen Chiryoryoku, or natural healing power. Lululun says that each sheet mask has like 35 milliliters of serum in the pack, so it recommends that you rub this on your neck and your decollete, or like this, the collarbone area, after you're finished using it. So they have this interesting ingredient, and it's registered. It's called Brightenil. And I found a site that was talking about this ingredient. Basically, it says that it's an antioxidant, that it's anti-inflammatory. It says that it helps reduce melanin production, and it helps improve redness. So basically, like all your skincare concerns in one sheet mask is kind of what it's sounding like. So the site that I looked that information up was in Japanese, but then Paula's Choice, which is a site they have in English, they also have a Japanese site as well. But the English site, long story short, they're saying that there's limited research to support the claims that are being made about this ingredient, but still, with the research that has come out, that they think it's an ingredient to keep an eye on. So I think it's very interesting. It also had apple stem cell extract as well as grape stem cell extract, which if you remember earlier, it said the natural healing power. So I think that might be what it's referring to. And so the website, it says that the stem cells from the particular apple that they use are similar to the ones in our skin. So it'll help to smooth our skin and help with elasticity. And the grape one, it says that it has a lot of polyphenols, which are antioxidants, and that's always good for the skin. And then it also says it helps with elasticity. And this one, again, because it is a more luxurious experience, you leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes, and this one would be 1 to 2 times per week. This reminds me of this Anua, the Heart Leaf cream mask. It seems like they have this new green version. I've tried it when it was the old version, and the cream mask is such a nice experience. So if it's anything like that, like I really, these are masks that I was not, like, I promise you, I would see them in the store and I'm like, I kind of intrigued, but I didn't really care. But now that I looked into it, now I want them. So when I try them, I'll try and share them on here in a relatively timely manner. Next up is the Lululun Moisture Pad. And so this one, like the other masks, it's free of colorants, mineral oil, alcohol, and then this one specifically says that it's free of chemical exfoliants. So for the moisture pad, it says that it has smooth sheets, but yeah, and then it also has a little pin set that it has on top, which is not very common. I don't see that for sure in sheet masks in Japan, because they usually come in like a little bag, you take it out with your hand. But also toner pads, I'm not sure, because realistically, I'm not a fan of toner pads. I don't really buy them, but I also don't feel like I see them too often. So that's a very nice addition, I would say. So some of the feature ingredients for this is komenuka, or rice bran extract. And komenuka is a familiar ingredient from the Nadeshiko Japan series as well. It also says that it has 5 ceramides, which helps to moisturize the skin. And it also says that it has red bean seed extract. This name down here that I can't read, this is red bean seed extract that helps with skin firmness. And red beans are like these beans here, like not like red kidney beans. Like we have their azuki beans, these here, which by the way, I don't know if you've had dorayaki, which is this pancake with the red bean inside. It's so good. If you've had dorayaki before, let me know in the comment section. I personally love it. But yeah, so these pads, you would just boop, boop, put them on your face, you leave them on for 5 to 10 minutes, and it says that you can use that instead of a face wash in the morning. So in the morning, you're busy, you want to get the skincare off of the net, you just boop, 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 use one of those, and then if you want to slap some on and leave them on for 5 to 10 minutes, you can. If not, you can just, you know, put on your sunscreen and go on about your day. Next up is the Hydra White. And this is the first cleansing balm. They do have several cleansing balms that we will go over. We're going to go over all of them. You're already here. Might as well just finish up watching the whole series. But yeah, so the Hydra White, some of the highlight ingredients are lactic acid, the Neosan, which helps with gentle exfoliation and helps to improve skin dullness. It also has retinol palmitate, which is a retinol ester. It is the like weakest form of a retinol, so I don't know necessarily how effective it will be in a wash off product. But the Hydra White has these three emollient ingredients to help soften the skin and also just to help keep our skin a little bit moisturized. One thing to know, and like I'm always like questioning this because a lot of these are all, I believe, yushi, or like in Japanese literally the characters are oil and fat put together. You read that as yushi. So yushi, or this type of oil, these types of oils or these types of fats, and so these types of oil in specific, they tend to help exacerbate acne in people. And it's not that the oil itself is the culprit, it's that I believe in our skin we have like this acne bacteria, so the acne bacteria will feed off of those oils, it'll get bigger, cause pimples. But it's a wash off product, so I don't know that a wash off product, a cleanser, will necessarily lead to that. A leave-in product is probably more likely to do that, but that is something to note just in case. It might be a little bit too rich for people who have acne prone skin, oily acne prone skin. Another ingredient that Lululun likes to point out is this Acellus hippoc something. I don't know, but it looks like that. And one of those Japanese cosmetic ingredient websites says that it helps with wrinkles, or helps to improve the look of wrinkles. And again, I would not expect a lot from a wash-off product, but it's there. It also has collagen and hyaluronic acid. So next up is this serum, but it's a serum made up of only oils, the Hydra V Oil. So the website, it promotes this ingredient as it helping with pore care, but helping pore care through moisturization, not hydration. And I learned this. So apparently the difference is that hydrating, it adds water to the skin. Moisturizing keeps the moisture in the skin. But it's interesting because in Japanese, you don't have a distinction between the two. You just use the word hoshitsu. So I remember that they would use, when I was learning for the test, they'd be like, yeah, you have hoshitsu for these like wet ingredients, not wet ingredients, but like these hydrating ingredients. You have hoshitsu for like the hoshitsu koka, or like the moisture effect for these like emollient ingredients, which are like, you know, the oilier ingredients. And I would be like, I didn't really get the difference. So I don't understand how Japanese people make that distinction, but I just thought that was really interesting that they're both labeled hoshitsu seibun, or moisturizing ingredients. Some other ingredients of note are squalene, again, moisturizing ingredient. And then we have jojoba seed oil, macadamia seed oil. We have some more oils here, including vitamin E, which is an antioxidant, as well as ascorbyl tetrasylpalmitate. It's supposed to help with hyperpigmentation. So next up, we have a more exciting mask, and that is because there's now slowly, PDRN is slowly making its way into the Japanese market. And I say slowly because the first product that I saw that had PDRN in it was, I believe, last year, and there was like one. And now there's a couple more, it's kind of trickling in. And Lululun, definitely this year, they have a couple of products that have PDRN that I will introduce in this video. And one of them is this, the Hydra PD Mask. And this one they have in both the 7-pack mask and the 32-pack mask. And again, similar to the other ones, free of colorants, mineral oils, fragrance, alcohol. And then this series, the Hydra something mask series, they have a bunch that are really interesting. But out of all of the masks that they have for this series, for me, even though it has PDRN, like, those are the only exciting ingredients, I think, in this mask. Because everything else is kind of like basic. Look, you are the pure mask of this series, is what I'm saying. So yeah, it's got things like niacinamide, which is an all-rounder, helps with all kind of skin issues. You've got this ascorbate. This ascorbate, it's a vitamin C derivative. Panthenol, skin soothing, soluble collagen, and hyaluronic acid, which are hydrating. And then of course the star ingredients. Oh, actually, this is kind of cool because I was reading the ingredient list. Sorry, I got too excited. Before we get into that, so the main ingredients of this one is PDRN, but it has two types of PDRN. So you have 植物由来 or plant-derived PDRN. You also have animal-derived PDRN from salmon sperm, if I understand correctly. And so this one has both of them. Okay, so first we're gonna look at this other mask that I haven't gone over yet, but that also has PDRN. So what it was exciting to the point that I called Lululun, I asked them, they called me back and they gave me the answer. So looking at the ingredients of this other mask, it says that it has low molecular weight PDRN, *2. You go to the bottom of that picture, *2 is made up of two ingredients, and that is DNANA, which is PDRN, that's how they show it in Japanese ingredient list, and then it also has ginseng extract. That's what this plant-derived PDRN is composed of. And that's what it says on the total ingredient list. Next, we go back to our boy, the PD mask, the mask that we're talking about now. And so this mask, it says that it has both PDRN that is plant-derived and PDRN that is salmon-derived. And just like on the S mask, if you look at the plant-derived PDRN, it will say that it has an *2, and you go to the bottom and it says DNANA. And then when you go to the animal-derived PDRN section, it says that this is DNANA. So I was like, okay, so you have DNANA and ginseng, and then you have DNANA. That's what we got going on. So I go down to the ingredient list and I'm looking and it only says one DNANA. So then I'm like, wait a minute, if there's two types of PDRN in this mask, why is there only one DNANA? So when I tell you that I called Lululun, look, I'm gonna show you here. I won't show you the full conversation. I'm gonna show you little snippets of me calling and asking them.
すいません、ちょっと伺いたいんですけれども、本当に細かくて申し訳ないんですが、新しく出たそのハイドラ PD マスクに関するご質問なんですけれども、その成分配合されている成分を確認したところ、DNA その PDRN、はい、植物由来の PDRN とサーモン由来の PDRN 配合されているっていうふうに記載されてるんですけれども、で、オンサイトを確認しているところ、なんていうんですか、写真があって、例えばその低分子の植物由来の PDRN、ありがとうございました。失礼いたします。Okay, so they said that it has two, but because of the yakuji that they can only list one, even though it has the two types. So that's very interesting. And so the lady, she called back and basically what she explained was, so she checked it with like her superior, and then they told her essentially that because of Japanese regulations, how things need to be displayed, then that's why they only have that one ingredient there. But yes, it does have the two different types of PDRN. And I'm like, honestly, that is so, why did it get to this level? What have I done in my life that has led me to this? No, but like genuinely, truly, it's like, but that's a little bit confusing, I feel, because you have two different types of PDRN, but you're labeling them as one. How am I supposed to know that? You know, how would I know? Like, anyway, it's just a little fun fact. I hope you enjoyed that little tidbit. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the moisturize section. Now we're gonna move on to pore care masks. And pore care mask, basically it's pore care through moisturization. They don't have anything that is actually like going to treat your acne. There's no products in the Lululun masks that have, I believe there's no products that have salicylic acid, but they do have some ingredients that could help a little bit with sebum and oil production, but it's not that deep is what I'm trying to say. Remember, moisturization plus alpha. So first up is the Hydra V Mask. And again, they have the 7-pack and the 32-pack. And just like the other ones, it's free of all this stuff. And so this one is a little bit cray because it has 7 types of vitamins. It's just honestly very like, it's power packed with a bunch of different ingredients. There's 7 different types of vitamins. It has retinol, bakuchiol, and niacinamide. And I was looking because you know I stay looking. And I didn't call to ask about this one because I was like, let's not go there. But I did see the marketing choice was essentially to put bakuchiol as a vitamin. But I don't know. I think I looked it up when I was putting together this presentation, and I couldn't find that bakuchiol necessarily is a vitamin. But what I think the connection is because they say that bakuchiol is the next generation retinol, and retinol is a derivative of vitamin A, I believe. So I think that that's where they're kind of jumping to conclusions from, but I don't know that bakuchiol is an actual vitamin itself. But if you know, please let me know in the comment section. That would be so great. But yeah, it has this long name ingredient here. Basically, that's an antioxidant. Next,
And then we have this other first long name here that starts with an M. That's also an antioxidant. We got panthenol, soothing ingredient, ascorbyl glucoside, also antioxidant, and we got tocopherol, anti-vitamin E, which is usually listed as a skin moisturizing ingredient. So ascorbyl glucoside is listed as a skin brightening ingredient on the website, I believe, but I looked it up and it says that ascorbyl glucoside is can help with brightening of dull skin at 2 to 5%. And I don't know that there's 2 to 5% of that ingredient in this product. I don't know. Supposedly, allegedly. Okay, so next, another ingredient, and this one specifically says that it helps with nikibi or acne, is the skin conditioning and whitening. And this one, it comes with 4 packs for 1 sheet. Again, this is going to be a little bit more expensive, and this is like 1 to 2 times a week. It's free of all of these things over here. And the reason why it says that it helps with pimples or acne is because it has dipotassium glycerisinate. I keep saying glycerisinate, but apparently the name is not glycerisinate. It's glycerizate. So dipotassium glycerizate, which is an anti-inflammatory ingredient, and what is pimples? Inflammation. So the pimples that have already come out on your face, essentially it cannot heal them, it cannot make them go away, but should help with the inflammation. And the idea is to help inflammation from getting pimples to the point that they're so inflamed that they become pimples. And then it also has tranexamic acid, which obviously when you get the pimples, then you'll get inflammation, and inflammation, hyperpigmentation. So trying to help with all of that. It's all connected. And then some other interesting ingredients and just tidbits that came with this product is this stinted Chinese essentially kiwi fruit extract. When I was looking this up, did you know that kiwis are from China? Because you know, we all know them, kiwis, New Zealand. That's what they're called. That's the nickname of these people. But apparently it's not. They are originally from China. In the 1900s, they were taken to New Zealand and then they became a popular export there, and now everybody knows them as New Zealand fruit. But apparently, yeah, I was like, made in China, baby. But yeah, and it helps with moisturizing and brightening. And then this Morris Alba, sounding like you finna show up in a Wednesday episode, root extract is supposed to help with skin dullness. And it's supposed to be good for post-acne inflammation. When Paula's Choice describing that ingredient, they put emphasis on helping evening out the skin tone. Some other ingredients of note are Rosa something something. This is like the Japanese variation of rosehip, which is a rosehip, which the rosehip plants, the rosehip series, beautifully and fearfully made by the Lord, is a powerful antioxidant and it's an anti-inflammatory ingredient. And then we have peonia, which it showed up also, I believe, as shakuyaku ekisu, which again I had mentioned earlier. That ingredient is in that SK2 advanced cream. This one actually, you leave it up to 5 minutes, 1 to 2. You leave it up to 5 minutes, 1 to 2 times a week. So next we have, I think we might actually be able to finish this today. Oh my gosh. Okay, so next we have the Hydra F Mask. And this one, they don't have a bulk pack. They only have this one in a 7-pack. Again, free of colorants, mineral oil, alcohol. And the star ingredients of this are, number 1 is furadin, which is supposed to be a really powerful antioxidant. It's so funny. I looked up information and someone on Reddit called this, oh yeah, we know that guy. We call him Buggy Balls. I'm like, that's adorable because it looks like this. It's actually a really interesting looking ingredient. But yeah, so it has that, and then it has ascorbyl glucoside, which is an antioxidant. It's said to be the stable form of vitamin C. So these 2 ingredients in this formulation are said to help with stickiness and shininess. Like it says tekari, so tekari is like, you know, if you have like oily skin and your skin just looks like oily, that look, it's supposed to help with that. Oh my gosh, I think we actually did it. I think we did it. Okay, 2 more. I think we have 2 more. So next is so did you know that Lululun has soaps? They actually, well, they have a soap, and that's the Hydra F Soap. So again, the concept of all the Lululun products, I would say that maybe this is the most geared towards people with acne prone skin, aside from that mask that we just covered right now. It says that it creates really fine foam to really help get up in the pores and help clear them out. It says that it has 2 types of enzymes. So it has one enzyme to help break up the proteins in the pores, and then the other one to help break up that sebum. So basically all of that gunk and stuff that's in our pores, it's really supposed to help get it out. It has charcoal as well, which charcoal is an ingredient that is often used in acne prone skin and care products to really help stuff, you know, help really pick up the dirt and get it out of our face. It also says that it has not azelaic acid, but it says that it has a plant-based ingredient that has similar properties to azelaic acid, which azelaic as it can help to control sebum production. And then of course it has furaden, our antioxidant boogie ball. And the last ingredient that we have in the moisturizing and pore care lineup for today is the cleansing toning balm, the black version. And so this is specifically designed to help really clear out your pores, similar to the Flarin. It has 2 types of enzymes. It also has charcoal as well. It has azelaic acid, although it says that it is inserted in the formulation as a moisturizing ingredient. It also has vitamin C as well as a moisturizing ingredient. You have isoflavone or isoflavones, which help to smooth the skin and help to improve dullness, especially around like the pores. So yeah, admittedly I am very intrigued in this product, but as someone with very dry skin, I would be like, I think that'd be a little bit too much for me. But yeah, my camera's running out of battery, but I'm also running out of battery, and I also need to go to the gym. Oh my gosh, it's not that late. But yeah, so I don't know, like let me know what you think about. I know these videos are like super long and I go into a lot of details and a lot of information, so I am like torn between like I really want to go in super deep because I feel like nobody takes deep dives like this into these products, but I also feel like people don't do this because they don't have time and you just kind of want like, hey, this works for this and hey, this works for this. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on these deep dives. I'm thinking of maybe making these a little bit more simple and trying to write up articles sometime in my spare time, putting that up on my website, and then you could look that up as like kind of like additional information. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on today's video. If you have any questions or any kind of concerns, please feel free to leave them down below. Do you have any product from today's lineup that you were most interested in checking out? Because for me, I know the cream one mask, that one looked really good. The night one, basically anything except for the pure mask and the PDRN mask that had the 2 PDRNs, but it only had 1 listed. Anything outside of that, I was like, this is really interesting. I want to check this out. And I want to put that on my face. But let me know what you think in the comment section. As always, hope you have a good day. Remember, God bless me,